Welcome back in, guys, to another episode of the Advisor Odyssey podcast. Today's big three topics are, first and foremost, why are the first 90 days of a new client relationship so critical? Okay, we're going to be talking about this question I got. Can you close and convert clients during the first meeting in a good way? And then the third piece here is, should you be serving alcoholic beverages at your events? Okay, stay tuned, guys. We got a unique episode coming at you here.
This is the Advisor Odyssey audio experience, where financial advisors, planners, insurance agents, and brokers will find fresh new ideas and perspectives around what it takes to launch, succeed, scale, and bulletproof their business.
All right, so what do the first 90 days look like as a new client to your firm? Okay, that's the golden question right now. That first 90 days of a new client relationship are the most important, in my opinion. Okay, that time period is so critical. It's the honeymoon phase if you do it right, or it's when buyer's remorse settles in if you do it wrong. Now, we're going to be talking through a handful of reasons, like specific reasons why this is so critical. But even before we jump into that, guys, think about the moments in your life, okay? And financial, someone moving financial advisors or hiring a financial advisor, I'd consider that a pretty big decision, okay? You go to, the local deli and you choose which sandwich you buy. It might be tough for a second, right? But you don't regret it afterwards typically that much. Even if you hate the sandwich, it's not that big of a deal. But when you make a big purchase, you take more time to think about it, typically. And if you regret it, wow, it stings, okay? I don't know if any of you listening have ever bought a house just to find out the foundation's way worse than you thought, and then you got to invest a ton of money into fixing it. You probably regret that one, okay? So, anyways, think of financial services as a big purchase, okay? Your clients are making a big purchase. It's going to take time, and they're going to really be evaluating that. Throughout the length of the entire relationship, but very specifically that first 90 days. So, anyways, that first 90 days is going to hold a handful of really critical time elements, I guess we'll call it. Okay, things are going to happen during that life cycle that are very critical to the long-term relationship. But it's during this phase that you will be able to, and it's really when you first can prove your worth to the client, okay? You've told them all these things, you promised them all these things, but now is your chance to prove it, okay? This is where you can dissolve a lot of skepticism that they may be feeling. If they've worked with another advisor before who was lackluster, they still have that preconceived notion, okay? You can dissolve the skepticism if you handle it well. Also, do remember that a lot of clients may have had a negative experience with another financial advisor, but they never told you, okay? I've had many conversations, unfortunately, where advisors say that a client left their firm because they weren't what they thought they would be, and they're too much like their old advisor. And this advisor is saying, when were you working with someone else? What was that? And it's because they went in with this half-ass effort to really stand out, and they never did. So keep in mind that one of the easiest and most dependable ways, though, to build trust and dissolve skepticism is through that initial client onboarding experience. Okay, even if you, let's say you spend a full month or two, we'll say 2 months, and you have the most amazing client onboarding experience. They meet everybody, they get introduced to everybody, they get walkthroughs and tutorials on how to do things. It's amazing. Okay, they get gift baskets, all of this, and then you don't talk to them for 4 months afterwards. I'd bet you that's okay, because you've already solidified that it's well worth it to join your firm because you did more in 2 months than the other person did in 3 years. So the other side of this is that client onboarding experience, okay, that 90-day period. It's also when you can really stand out amongst this sea of sameness that we're in the financial advising world, okay? They're probably close to... Well, I say there's probably over 1 million total, like what we would consider financial professionals in the world today, or at least, in the US today. Okay. That's a lot. And the reality is these are still commodity driven investments. Like what you're doing at a core level is fairly commodity driven, right? What the difference maker here is how you do it and why you do it. It's not what you technically do. So keep that in mind. Every advisor is going to say they're different. Every advisor is going to say they do it differently. But when they really put the, turn the gas up and like put you down by the fire, it's hard to answer why you really stand out and why you're different in a way that they've never heard before. So the easiest way to do that is through your client onboarding experience. Again, why are you different? Well, let me show you. Here's what happens during the first 90 days. Your client onboarding experience will never be like anybody else's. Why? Because you have your own brand, you have your own team, you have your own geographic location, you have your own services, your own clients, you have your own everything here. That onboarding experience is where people can see the difference. Okay, help yourself stand out by creating that remarkable experience and make sure that it's different than what they ever expected or have ever experienced before. Okay, that first 90 days is also when you will develop a lot of loyalty, and it's where you've earned the right to emphasize the importance and reasons for people referring their friends and family to you. Okay, again, as I said, it's a commoditized world. Okay, this is a commoditized world. We have things like airlines, clothing stores, coffee shops, and streaming services. Okay, let's just focus on those four: airlines, clothing stores, coffee shops, and streaming services. And there's quite a few to choose from, right? But there's a reason why some companies will stand out and some won't. The reason being, it is the consistent experience that those companies provide that sets them apart. Okay, you fly Southwest instead of random airline. I won't put anyone on blast, but you fly Southwest instead of some other airline. Why? The experience. You buy from Old Navy instead of the random store that popped up on your Facebook feed online. You order from Starbucks instead of the local coffee shop in a town you've never been to. You sign into Netflix instead of walking up to the red box at your local Walgreens. And then, again, if you want clients to brag about your company and refer people to you, two things you have to remember. One is you have to earn the right. If you're not getting referrals, you don't earn them. And you don't deserve them either. But the second thing is you need to create an amazing experience to earn those referrals. Okay. And this piece here, this is for you independent advisors listening. Okay. This is just for the independent guys right now, guys and gals. Your client experience, that first 90 days specifically, this is where you can really, really compete with the billion-dollar companies out there, the big Wall Street marketing firms. Perhaps the biggest reason why you're competing with them and how you can create that remarkable client experience is because 99% of the advisors out there cannot spend near as much or afford to spend near as much as those bigger firms. The independent advisor down the street will never be able to spend more than JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Ameriprise. They're just not going to be able to do it. But here's the good news for you guys. And then this is a word of caution for you, for the advisors that are in those agencies. You can always out-experience someone else. Independent advisors, you can always out-experience the big box firms. Okay? You can do that by relentlessly focusing on that experience from start to finish. And when you compete with those firms, okay, they very likely do not have a system in place internally, okay? Every office, the prospecting experience up until the sale is pretty much cut and dry. You have something you're supposed to follow. You're trained to do it. But after they become a client, you typically fall into this big pool. Okay, this is where you can really stand out. Create that amazing experience to stand out against the big box firms that will always be able to outspend you. Okay. And some other little quick nuggets to better your client experience during that first 2-3 month period. Do have a new client welcome kit. Okay. Do give them a calendar of upcoming client events, whether they're appreciation events or referral events. Give them a signed copy of your book if you haven't already. And then this is a unique one that I heard recently. make a small donation to a charity of their choice or a philanthropy of their choice. Okay. That's a really amazing way to make it clear to them you value them and you listen to them. What they care about matters to you. So to recap here, that first 90 days, it's critically important. Reason being, number one, it's where you can prove your worth and dissolve any skepticism that they may be feeling. It's when you can stand out in the sea of sameness that this world of financial advising is now. It's where you can develop loyalty and where you've earned the right to emphasize the importance of referring friends and family to you. And again, for the independent folks, it's where you can really separate yourself from the bigger box firms. So hope you've enjoyed this piece, guys. Again, that client experience, so critical. But let's go ahead and move on now to the questions from left field.
From Left Field, where we take a swing at answering your specific questions and share our insights into the more common challenges that financial advisors, planners, insurance agents, and brokers typically face in their business.
So question 1, do you know any advisors who are consistently closing business and gathering signatures and such during the first appointment? Now, guys, I got this question and I actually hesitated to answer it, but I reached back out to that advisor just to clarify that they meant, when they said first appointment, they didn't mean first appointment after the fact finder. They actually meant the first appointment. And here's my answer to that. Do I know any advisors who close business and collect signatures consistently on the first appointment? The answer is no, I do not. And that's not because, I guess let me make sure I word this right. I do not know them because I don't think I want to know them. Okay, personally, I believe that if you're trying to get the commitment and push the close with someone during your first appointment, you're going to, I guess a couple things. One, there's no way you can really act in their best interest. There's just no way. The second, though, is you are going to repel most clients who would ever consider working with you because of how pushy you're being. Okay. Again, financial advising is not like going car shopping. Okay. You walk into a car lot, they're going to be pushy with you probably because that's their opportunity. Okay. If this was in the animal kingdom here, you got the limping gazelle and you got the lion. Yeah, the lion's going to go after it, right? Because that's the opportunity. That is the opportunity right in front of them. For financial advising, it's not supposed to be as such, right? So when I hear that this advisor, and again, I guess I say I heard it. It was technically a written question. So when I read it, I kind of cringed almost because this is a lot of the problems with the financial advising world right now. Okay, I didn't do any research on this advisor, and I don't know if they're securities licensed or not. I don't know who they're affiliated with, but there's no reason why anyone should ever be trying to push a commitment, especially a signed commitment. A verbal commitment's one thing, but to push a signed commitment within an hour of just meeting someone, that's insane to me. But anyways, it's almost like, even though I might know that the girl I'm on a date with for the first time is the woman that I'm destined to marry, I'm not going to ask her to marry me. And if she says no, I say, well, all right, that's it. It's foolish, right? So to me, that's how I associate it. Again, client relationships are very important, not to compare them directly to marriage, but they are important. So the second question here from left field was, should I serve or at least have available alcoholic drinks at my dinner seminars? So this is a very opinionated answer, okay? You might have people, but you will have people probably give you different answers here. But to me, this is a big no-no. I'd highly recommend against it, okay? Because if, for whatever reason, and this is the number one reason why I say not to do it, if for whatever reason that individual gets pulled over and issued a DUI, the police officer will ask them where they are coming from. And if they tell that police officer they are coming from your dinner seminar or your financial seminar at XYZ restaurant, you are very likely going to be in a lot of trouble. So it's just not worth it for whatever reason to me. Plus, like I said, a lot of the little reasons that go along with it, you might have prospects there who do not drink, right? Don't repel them before they even have a chance to hear what you say. You also, as a professional, don't want to put yourself in a position where you can jeopardize your professionalism when it comes to talking about financial stuff. I mean, how easy is it for you to have this person come up to you? Like, think back, right? Think back if it's, now granted, maybe you don't drink, but think back when when you have a situation where there's that guy or that girl you're talking to, and they want to get to know you more. It's the atmosphere, right? You tend to get comfortable because you want to enjoy the moment. You want to keep the moment going. Now, same is true at these financial seminars. After you conclude your seminar, someone comes up to you afterwards, asking all these questions, want to talk with you, say they have all this money, they want to invest with you, they want to explore you, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden they're drinking, they offer you a drink. You get in this hour-long conversation. You're trying to move the sale forward, and you're trying to learn about them, but you're doing it in a way that it could be considered malpractice, but also you're going to look unprofessional. So again, this is a very opinionated answer, but I would strongly urge you not to serve alcoholic drinks at your dinner seminars. If they want to go get a drink after your seminar, let them, but you do not provide them, and you do not allow them into your event itself, if possible. So anyways, take care, guys. Thanks for listening. And as always, if you have any questions or if you want to have your questions answered, send them, okay? Email, tweet at me, send them via Instagram or Facebook DM. Doesn't matter. Go ahead and write your questions and we'll get them answered live. Take care.
We hope you enjoyed the Advisor Odyssey audio experience. Connect with us on your favorite social media platforms at Advisor Odyssey. You can find our full-length educational videos to watch on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out all our articles and publications on medium.com/Advisor Odyssey. The Advisor Odyssey podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The contents and opinions shared, expressed, or otherwise alluded to on the Advisor Odyssey podcast and audio experience are solely ideas and not to be depicted as tax, legal, or investment advice. Results from the use of these concepts may not be representative of the experience of all financial professionals and are no guarantee of future success. Your results may vary. The Advisor Odyssey and its affiliated members are not to be held liable or responsible for any lawful recourse or punishment invoked upon the individual or accompanying business partners or team members. Federal law, state law, and/or insurance carrier requirements may prohibit or place limitations on any of the ideas and activities expressed. All advisors, planners, wholesalers, affiliated reps, and investment advisors should be aware of any limitations imposed by federal regulation, state regulation, insurance carriers, broker-dealers, and registered investment advisors as applicable. Investment advisors are strongly encouraged to obtain pre-approval from the broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, insurance company, or similar institution with which they may be affiliated.